Hey there, Gemini Sun, Gemini Moon, Gemini Rising. It's Maggie from Moon Directive. Welcome to my channel. Here we work with the energy of the moon to see how we can best utilize it to move our life forward in the most positive way possible. Today we're going to cover the eclipse that's happening on the 26th of December. That's that new moon in Capricorn eclipse that's happening for most of the world, unless you live in the central time zone west here in the United States. Then it will be happening for you on December 25th. But for the rest of the world, it is on the 26th. So we're going to cover that, but first I'm going to kind of briefly go over what's going on this week. I do want to thank you so much for your likes, your shares, your comments, for helping me to grow my channel. I think it's really important that you do that because then it connects our energy and it allows me to be able to tap into it when I'm trying to do the readings. And so it's beneficial to both of us when you can do that. And so I want to encourage you to continue to do that. When you check out your sun sign, that is the core of you. It's how you feel in the sign. But your moon sign, that's how you're going to react and respond to the energies around you. And your rising sign, if you know the time and place that you were born, is very beneficial because that's how you interact with the world. But it's your destiny. It's the way you're going to move. It sets up your houses. It's very important energy. And so if you can check out those, if you know those, you should always check it out to get a more complete reading. All right, so we walk into this week with that moon in Sagittarius, and for Sagittarius, that's that energy of making peace with what you need to in order to release and let go. What can you let go of? That brings hope and optimism. It's not a restrictive letting go. It is something that when you release it, you feel at peace, you feel at rest, and you're like, I feel optimistic about it because the Sagittarius energy is pretty optimistic. And then we move into the moon in Capricorn. And lots of things going on. We've got Jupiter that rules Sagittarius coming into conjunction with that eclipse that's happening in Capricorn. So again, that sense of optimism, like a real breakthrough is going to happen, something important. And then the sun on Friday will come into conjunction with Jupiter. And so again, that energy of optimism is throughout this entire week. There's a lot of that going on. Oh, that's right. Okay. There's a lot of that happening, and so allowing yourself to feel optimistic this week when you understand that what you're letting go of is something important that will help you and be beneficial to you in the long run, I think is definitely on order. So, and then the only other thing is we've got lots of planets piling up in Capricorn. Capricorn is the energy that is going to rule this year. 2020 is a 4-year. It's 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 0, that's 4, okay? And so it's about stability, and it's laying that groundwork, and what do you need to do? And so an eclipse energy is about what can you let go of in order to plant your seeds of intention. And the manifestation energy of this year is so strong, so high. You are going to manifest. The question becomes, what are you focusing on? So if you're focusing on negative things, you're likely to manifest negative things. If you are focusing on positive things, you're going to manifest positive things. So planting your seeds of intention becomes really important. So make sure you take the time to go ahead and write down what it is that you want to create. What are your hopes, your goals, your dreams, your aspirations for this year, and what are you willing to work for? Because you're going to have to work for it as Capricorn. So, all right, let's take a look at the overall energy for this week for you. You have the Ace of Pentacles. That's exactly right. That is Pentacles energy. That is so it's really interesting. You have a lot of Capricorn energy that's showing up in your week, which doesn't surprise me because we are in Capricorn, but Sun's in Capricorn, the Moon's in Capricorn this week for it dominates everything, right? So this Ace of Pentacles, this is about creating something out of what other people have left behind. This is a dung beetle. So dung beetles, dung is doo-doo, right? And so, but they find use for what other people don't, and they plant their seeds of intention in that. That's where they propagate. And so you have the dung beetle, and you have the 8 of Pentacles, which is the mountain goat climbing the mountain. That is Capricorn. And so there's this planting the seeds of intention and being willing to work hard for it. And it is a situation where you have to let something go. So we have the vulture here on the death card. But what's interesting about the vulture and the dung beetle here is that nothing is allowed to go to waste. There is a situation where if you take a look around, there is something that other people consider useless, not good, and I just want to remind you, you are resilient. And so in the wreckage, there is something good that is worth using to plant the seed of intention. And so something that seems to have fallen apart around you, something that seems to be really negative, there is gold in there. There is something that you can really use to promote your growth and we're all here to learn and grow. And there's something in that wreckage is where's that sweet spot, that seed. And so don't let anything go to waste. Allow yourself to pick through the mess to allow the transformation to come in. So the overall energy for that, we have the Two of Swords here. And so the Two of Swords is this indecision. But in this one, it's about being balanced. He's got one foot on each sword hilt. And so he's looking to the future and he's balanced. I'm actually going to go to the book because I feel like there's another message and it's flitting around there and it's not quite coming in. Decisions are not always easy to make, and it can be so easy to talk yourself out of doing something that you really want to, but ultimately you need to make a decision. Will you go with your gut or will you go with your head? Everything looks so magical on the shoreline, yet you can't stay in this in-between place for long. Things change quickly here and your time is limited. There is no room for procrastination. Okay. Change is coming. The death, the transformation. Okay. So the overall energy is maybe you've been sitting in indecision about something, but a decision is coming and that situation is going to transform. And with that death comes this rebirth of the Ace of Pentacles, but we're going to require you to overcome obstacles, to do the hard work, to be consistent in order to make it the really good thing that has the potential of being. And so the overall energy is dwelling in truth. So where's your truth? And so I think that indecision there, you're sitting there in that indecision. So this is the overall energy for the eclipse that is paired with this loyalty card. So loyalty and your truth. Where is your truth? Where do your loyalties lie? That might help you in the decision-making process. Let's take a look at these cards and see what we have here. This is the 9-card spread, although we have more than 9 cards. That is not unusual in my life. So this is the key to the situation: thoughts, feelings, actions, past, present, future. They all have a little special meaning attached to them based on the Lenormand deck, so I'll get into that. And again, if this message is not resonating, I recommend that you take a look at your other signs. And also, oh, interesting. Also, hold on a second. Okay, and also I want to remind you that I am doing personalized readings. Those are pre-recorded video readings through December 31st for just $20.20. You can get a year ahead. You can get a personal, like you just want to focus on one area or the other. You can make it a gift certificate. So just send me an email, and the information is in the description box below. So here the key: you have the King and you have the Lady of the Lake, and the Lady of the Lake is about dwelling in your truth. This is exactly what that is. And that's the key to the situation. So your truth, and I want to say there's loyalty and then there's your truth. And sometimes we stay in situations because out of loyalty when your truth would set you free. And so loyalty can definitely be a good thing, but don't let it be something that ties you to a situation that doesn't work. But the dog here is only thing this dog represents is love, sincerity, and unconditional love. And I want you to remember to love yourself unconditionally in this process, because transformation is not always easy, and we're not always great in the moments of transformation as our lives shift and change underneath us, and we're doing all this overcoming of obstacles. And so make sure you're being compassionate with yourself, being compassionate with other people. So this Lady of the Lake is absolute truth, courage, self-respect, and responsibility. So you need to be responsible to yourself for your situation. You can't always pick your situation, but these two cards tell me that, yes, you have a lot more control here than you are taking responsibility for. Like, action must be taken. You've been sitting in indecision thinking you don't have a choice. But the vulture says, yes, you can make choices. This says you could start something new and you can work hard at it and make it happen. And the king is about stepping into your authority, taking action. It has to do with law. It has to do with justice. It has to do with standing in your truth and taking the action to move forward. So these two cards coupled together. This is very powerful. I feel like you can make the changes by stepping into your truth. What is really your truth? And this energy, okay, so this eclipse happens now, but we have another eclipse coming up in Capricorn. We have the full moon eclipse happening in Capricorn in 6 months. But this energy goes out a cycle of actually like 18 months. And so it might actually be a year and a half from now before you see the full end of it. But that full moon eclipse that happens on July 5th in Capricorn is going to also be a part of this cycle. It's going to be a part of it, but it's actually concluding what happened with the new moon in Capricorn eclipse that we had last year at some point. Oh, I don't know why I'm jumping to the front. Okay. In the recent past, you've been seeking information. We have the mystery, and it's in the house of the book. And the book is about, you know, looking for information, looking for guidance, not really being sure, like a lot of questions and maybe not very many answers. In the arena of transformation, you have transformation. You have the swan. So we have the transformation here. And in the arena of transformation, we also have transformation, only this time it's represented by a swan. It's trusting your psychic gifts. So this is following your intuition, following your inner knowing, following your truth. If you dwell in your truth, if you stand in your truth and what you believe in and what you know in your heart to be true, because this is in the space of the heart, then you will transform your life in a very positive way, right? We all know the story of the ugly duckling that becomes a swan, and all of a sudden he's amazing, right? And everybody thought he was not. So what is your truth? Your truth is what transforms your life. Your truth is what sets you free to create something new. And it's going to take work. All I see here is I see potential and effort. And it's going to have to be consistent to get where you're going. In the near future, in the area of abundance, we have perception. And so your perception determines your experience, right? So if you want to look on the negative side of things, if you think that this is really just, you know, the vultures are coming to pick over the bones, instead of the fact that the vultures come in and they pick over the bones, and what do? They're actually cleaning up the environment. They're actually allowing things to have its natural course of death and rebirth to give back to the earth. The dung beetle goes in and takes crap and makes something really useful out of it. It's your perception. Your perception is going to determine your experience. You're going to manifest what you're thinking about. So if you are manifesting thoughts and you are controlling your thoughts in the direction of the positive, the uplifting, the I'm moving forward, I can do this, I can overcome obstacles, I can take crap and make my life amazing. If that is it, that's how you choose to focus, then you will create amazing. But if you say, oh, my life is crappy and people are just picking over my bones, that is how you're going to feel. That will be your perception. Your perception is everything. In the recent past, you were having a lot of anxiety about how much work it was going to take. About whether or not you have good luck. Oh, I always choose. That's very negative energy. Like, luck doesn't work with me. If you say things like that, then you are setting yourself up for that. The energy to manifest right now is so potent. Speaking the words and the intentions, writing down with this new moon eclipse exactly what it is you want. What you know in your heart of hearts will bring the joy and the happiness into your life and the sense of productivity. That's what you need to do. You're laying the foundation for how you're going to build your life next. In whatever arena this is, I can't tell where this is happening exactly. Because all this energy, well, it's happening in partnerships. So it could be business or it could be personal. It's kind of hard to say. Oh no, I lied. This is not in partnerships. This is in their house of transformation. Okay, so I have no idea. So we have transformation, all going on in your house of transformation. Something's changing. How you choose to look at it is so important. So important. In the area of the heart moving forward, you have the stag. The stag is pride and leadership. If you follow your heart, if you take pride in knowing that you're standing in your truth and you're taking action steps in that direction, you are going to feel really good about yourself. You are going to know you're on the path. And when you feel good about yourself and you know you're on the path, the doors, the floodgates of abundance opens to you. In the recent past, okay, so we have the wisdom and deception of the owl, and we have the serpent, which is knowledge and healing. So here you were seeking information. The obstacle was clearly trying to figure out what was truth and what was fiction, what was going to lead. So if this is a physical ailment, because we have the healing there, if you're trying to figure out how to get the right treatment to solve a physical problem, you know, your attitude becomes increasingly more important because your attitude aids in your healing. And so I feel like there's been a lot of information that you have been seeking that has been really hard to get. Really hard to get. Nice. In the current situation you have in action, you have love. So this could be love in a relationship. For your children, for your spouse, your significant other, your parents, you know, so let's just say this is your parents and you've been trying to seek the information that you need in order to, because of the dog of loyalty, like you're trying to help your parents. There's this death and transformation process happening. There might be like a real need to just pour love into the situation. Also, yourself. If this is a situation where it's an ending of a relationship, an ending of a job, an ending of a where you live, or any kind of a major transformation that's in the very physical realm that only really is about you, don't forget to love yourself and be compassionate to yourself and dwell in your truth. But if this is about information that you're trying to get for a loved one, in which I definitely see this energy here, then when you choose, when you make your decision, trust that since you're doing it with love, that you're doing it out of loyalty, that you're doing it because you really truly believe that you're making the right choice. Maybe you're staying in indecision because you're trying to decide, do I need to move my parent into a facility where he or she is getting care that I can no longer do? You know, it's those kinds of decisions that also I'm seeing a lot of that right here. How do I transform this situation for that best and the highest good of all? And ask for that kind of guidance. But trust that in the end, you're going to feel proud of yourself. You're going to know that you stood in your wisdom and your truth, and you are going to make the right decision. And don't let other people tell you did not. And I just see so much work here and so much effort and so much trust and belief in what you're doing. So continue to do that. Trust yourself. Okay, the outcome is forgiveness. First off, I want to say, again, you're doing your very best. And so be compassionate with yourself, forgiving of yourself. If you feel like you screwed up, forgive yourself first. That's always the most important person to forgive anyway. But by putting love into a situation, it's going to lead to forgiveness from whatever and whoever. Okay, so if it's your parent's mad, maybe they have onset dementia and they're like mad at you because you're doing this, just forgive yourself. You're not doing anything wrong. If they were capable of rational thought, they would understand too. Okay? If this is a relationship that you've been going through a trying time, I see an opportunity for making this really work. But it depends on what is in your heart. What is your truth? I can see where someone might have cheated on someone, and there becomes a decision of, do I trust them? Do I love them enough to forgive them? Am I going to believe in loyalty? Perception becomes really important in those situations. So This looks like a hard thing. Eclipse energy isn't generally easy, but it is a releasing of something in order to create space for something new to grow. So if, whatever the situation is, let's say this is about someone that cheated on you and you love them and you want to make this work, or you cheat on them, they love you, and they want to make it, whatever, right? Leaving the past in the past. When you forgive somebody, that is releasing that energy. Let it go out there. That does not mean you don't pay attention, that you don't stay perceptive, but you can't keep referring back to the thing that you supposedly forgave them for. Otherwise, you didn't actually forgive them. You just said those words. So actual forgiveness is understanding that people are learning and growing, and everyone is. We're all doing that in different ways. And making space for people to be humans having this experience allows you to do that. So, you have, for thoughts, you have legends. Learn from those who inspire you. This is oftentimes about going to school and learning something new. Who inspires you in whatever area that you are seeking information or knowledge about. Learn. Be willing to learn. And also we have moving forward. Get ready for positive change. So this releasing, this transformation, this letting go of the anger, the hurt, this loving of yourself, loving of other people. Even you can love someone and decide that I can love you and I forgive you, but I can't live with you because I don't trust you. That's moving forward in a very healthy, positive way, because you're in your heart of hearts, you're like, I that won't work. You're moving forward, right? But there has to be the death, the transformation, the allowing, the letting go. And the love is about doing what's for the best and the highest good of all. All right. Well, we have to take time to breathe out, and I really didn't understand what this was, but it feels like you're still very stressed. And all I feel inside of me right now is all this stress, so I'm not surprised that. I'm struggling to keep my own breath. So whatever the situation is, love is required, and self-love is important. When I wanted to know why you needed to breathe, it says, what do you need to release? So two things. If you're holding your breath about you're waiting news and information on something and you've been holding your breath, actually physically let the breath out so that you can lower the anxiety level in your body. Okay? Do you need to release anger? Do you need to release hurt, resentment? What do you need to release so that you can let the love in? So that you can get to the forgiveness. I can't answer these questions because clearly with it being in the 8th house, this is it should not be the 8th house. Oh, that's right. Dyslexia got me for a second there. Okay. Still doesn't feel like that's right. Feels like it should be the 5th house. Oh, it is the 8th house. Okay. Never mind me. All right. Action steps. Protection. Protect yourself. That's out of nowhere, random. Okay. Signs and vision. That's that perception. And shedding the old. Okay, something's definitely changing. Setting yourself up for protection. So, again, you can forgive somebody, but that doesn't mean you're not paying attention to what's going on. Okay? Shedding the old. Snake also reminds me of shedding the skin, of letting something go so that you can allow new things to come in. Pay attention to your intuition. Pay attention to what's going on around you. If you're worried about loyalty, if you feel like someone's been disloyal to you, pay attention to their actions, not their words. What are they actually doing? So that you can figure this out. But it is the end of a situation, and you're going to need to let something go, and you're going to need to pour love all over the situation. And carrying around, if it is the end of a relationship, especially particularly one where someone has cheated, wow, okay, I just heard, it might not be a current situation. Okay, so, say you've been carrying around this anger and resentment for a relationship from your past. Say it was something that happened to you years ago, but you're still angry about it. You're still resentful about it. You still haven't been allowing yourself to just love every person for doing the best they can and allowing the forgiveness to happen. The person you're harming is yourself. And so if you are protecting yourself by hanging on to your anger and your resentment, you're not allowing this breaking down, this transformation to happen so that something new can come from it. And so actually allowing and releasing the anger and resentment, no matter how old the situation is, so that you can move forward is really important. Allow that to happen. What do you need to release? It feels like it's something that's been really stuck and in there for a long time. For some of you, this is more current. For some of you, this feels like old energy. Like really old. Like you guys triggered each other in this lifetime from something from like a past lifetime event. Like really old. And so if you're carrying around, we want to release as much of the karma as possible so that we can move forward lighter and brighter into this new paradigm. And so what anger and resentment can you let go of? So, abundance and prosperity are infinite supply. I am grateful for the blessings in my life. Green tourmaline, that keeps showing up today. And the other one is also green. And greener, the healing of the green is the healing energy of the heart chakra. Okay, so we have this forgiveness and this need for love going on here, and changing of your perception in order to bring this about. And we have, I accept the impermanence of all things. I know that change brings renewal and goodness. It is about transformation. This is pre-night. P-R-E-H-N-I-T-E. That might be really beneficial for you over the course of the next 6 to 18 months to really hang on to wear, like in a bracelet or something, to allow you to move through this energy with grace and with love and forgiveness, so that your life can truly move forward and grow the new things that are available to it. So it's time to move forward. It's time to release the anger and the resentment. It's time to fill the space with love and forgiveness. That does not mean you have to be in a relationship with this person, and you don't actually even have to tell them. This is something you can do as inner work. It does not have to be an announcement. It doesn't have to be, I mean, especially if this is a past relationship, you do not need to sit down and write it out and send them off the letter. Although, you know, that happens. I've done it. But it doesn't necessarily serve the purpose. Because honestly, had I the opportunity to do it over again, I would have written the letter and then I would have burned it and turned it over as spirit, because instead what happened was my letter went unresponded to, and I thought, wow, I really didn't mean anything. And so I ended up getting hurt again. So don't do that to yourself. Write the letter if you must. In fact, it's a really great way to channel and get all that out, but then burn it and turn it over to spirit and really allow the forgiveness to happen. I think that would be a much healthier way to do it than what I did. All right. So just a little FYI. I learned lessons the hard way so that you don't have to. All right. You guys take care. Happy New Year. Happy new decade. And I will see you soon. And I will be putting out the 2020 preview next Monday. They were not getting picked up in analytics, and so I stopped doing it that way, and they will all be released. If you're looking for Capricorn, already went out, Leo and Scorpio, those signs, I will also put out a video for you next week as a kind of a bonus, because those were my top 3 viewerships of the past year anyways, and so I think that would be kind of a nice thing to do too. So, all right, you take care. We will talk soon. Forgive. It's a really healthy thing. All right.